Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a totally and completely different video to what I normally do. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but if you're in Ireland and you're like me, we're in like level 5 lockdown restrictions and I am so bored, and I've walked everywhere I can possibly walk within my 5 kilometers and I'm so bored. It's Sunday evening, so I just wanted to sit down, film something completely different and have a little bit of fun. So what I'm going to film today is actually a tag, and it's a tag from probably like January 2020 I think. So it's an old tag, but I figured like why not, and it's called the part-time YouTuber tag. So as you know, I've been on YouTube for a little while now, but it's not obviously in no way my full-time anything. I work full-time and I do this as a hobby. First and foremost is my job, and then this comes after as a hobby. So I should say that I have the questions here, and Monica Adrianna was the YouTuber that first started this tag. So I'll pop her page down below if you want to pop over and have a little look at her and subscribe. So Monica started this tag and loads of other people have done it, and it's lovely. It's just different, something different. The first question is, what is your main gig? Do you work full-time? Are you a student, a parent? Spill the beans. So yes, I work full-time. I work for Google Ireland. I'm extremely fortunate to work for Google. It's an amazing company to work for and I love working there. I'm there, like overall I'm there probably over a year, but I'm full-time probably 8 months, so really happy with that. I'm not a student. I was a student for so many years, and I'm not a parent either. So yeah, I work full-time like most people. I'm now working from home. I work from this room here actually, and that is tough as well because you basically just spend all of your time at home and you really just need to get out for a walk on your lunch or after work to feel like you are human, because otherwise you would spend all your time looking at your computer screen. So yeah, that's it. I am a full-time Googler. Question number 2 is, what made you want to start YouTube? So I guess I kind of started, this is the first time I'm thinking about this, by the way. I didn't really intend on starting a YouTube channel. I didn't wake up one morning and say, I am going to start a YouTube channel. So I always had Snapchat for like as long as Snapchat was kind of like cool, and I used to talk a lot on Snapchat, and then I started doing a little bit of makeup on Snapchat, and people, my friends were like, oh, I love watching your snaps, they're so much fun. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh great, I'm making people happy and I'm giving people a little bit of joy, which is what I'm all about. So I would kind of talk about some products. I talk about makeup. If I got new makeup, I talk about it on Snapchat. And then Instagram stories came along and I started to kind of do a little bit on Instagram. And then I remember I bought my Babyliss straightening brush. And I was like, okay, I'll do a video on that and I'll show people all about it. But then I thought it's way too long. It's going to be too long for Snapchat. It's going to be too long for Instagram stories. People are going to click through and they're not going to care. Maybe I'll just do a YouTube video on it and I'll send people the link if they want to know more about it. And that's how my YouTube channel was born. When I sat down and I filmed that particular video, it was on my iPhone 5 maybe, and I had iMovie on my phone and it took me hours to edit it because I hadn't a clue what I was doing, and I put it up and it's still my highest watched video. I think, I don't even know how many views it has at the moment, like maybe 15,000 or something, which for me is huge. So that was it. Yeah, it was really popular, and then I started to think, oh, maybe this is kind of cool. This is something that I can have as a hobby. I never really had a hobby apart from going to the gym, but I just don't consider that a hobby. But yeah, I then decided to have YouTube as a hobby. Question 3, what is your channel about? Do you stick to one niche or do you cover a few? That's a really good question. My channel is, I would say, beauty and lifestyle. That's kind of how I would describe my channel, but it's very much what I want to do, and that's really funny. I've no monetary gain in any way. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm not in any way, I don't have anything to do with brands, which is fantastic because it means that I can be as honest as possible with everything that I talk about, and that's key for me. Like, that is what I want. I would say my niche is is it worth the hype videos. So I started to do those videos just for myself because they were so much fun and they took off, and they're always like, and if I look at my highest ranked or highest watched videos, they're always at the top, and it's usually so products, which is very strange. So yeah, my niche is probably the is it worth the hype, and it's solely because I am not sponsored and I'm not in any way affiliated with anyone at all. I have a low subscriber count, which I'm totally happy about because I feel like my subscribers are my family, genuinely, and I feel then that I don't have exposure, which means that I just feel like I'm talking to my friends. So if I pick up this lipstick and I think it's crap, I'm like, this is crap. I don't feel like, oh God, this might have a bad impact on me in my future or in my career. Like, it's not going to, because that's not my career. I don't care. I just want to tell you that I found this lipstick crap. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm rambling, but my niche is just honesty, and I put that through my Is It Worth the Hype videos, and they've been probably my most important. I would love to also grow my area on my channel about women's health. So as you might know, women's health is something I'm really passionate about talking about, and I really want to get the conversation to blow up about women's health and to have women's health as a topic, not to be so taboo. So it's something that I really want to keep moving along as well. So yeah, I don't really have a niche, but that's kind of the theme of my channel. Honesty is probably the one thing that kind of like the common thread that goes through my channel, and no matter what video I do, being honest is for me absolutely key. Question number 4, did you always know YouTube would be a side gig, or do you ever want to be a full-time YouTuber? I 100% never want to be a full-time YouTuber. I am very aware of trends and of fads, and I think that YouTube is definitely a trend that's lasting a long time, but I do think that it will die off. I work for a company that I've such an amount of stability within, and I need that. My personality type, I really need that level of stability. There's no way in the world that I could go month to month wondering if I'm going to get paid by this brand, or I'm going to like reach out to people to try and get sponsorship for a video. No, oh my God, no, that even makes me feel like, ugh, when I think about it. No, absolutely not. I do not want to become a full-time YouTuber. Maybe back at the beginning I kind of thought, oh, that would be cool, like, and it was mainly because I wanted to kind of have my own hours, but now my job is actually quite flexible, even though I work long hours. So I kind of feel like I can now do my own hours, even though I can't really, but I kind of have that. I feel like I have satisfied that now within myself, so I don't feel like that is lacking. So yeah, YouTube is 100% always going to be just a little side project, just a hobby for me to engage my creative side. Question number 5, what is your schedule like? When do you film? When do you edit? So at the very beginning I had a schedule, so every Saturday I would film and every Sunday I would edit, and that was grand when I had tons of content and I had loads of ideas, but it also kind of held me back on my weekends when I did have that schedule, because I was kind of trying to work around filming, and because I mostly use daylight, I was trying to work around daylight. I was trying to work around, you know, go and see my family. And when I started my channel, we live far away enough from our families, so if you need to go and see people, you kind of have to plan it in advance. So I was like, oh, I want to like do a video, and I'd have to plan things and whatever else. So yeah, I had a schedule at the beginning. It didn't really work out. It wasn't really feasible for what I wanted to do in my personal life, so I just got rid of it. I initially kind of said I'll do one a week. I'll upload a video a week. So then I would try to maybe video 2 on a Saturday and have 2 for 2 weeks. I don't bother with that anymore because I felt like I was putting pressure on myself, and then when I sat down to film, I wasn't enjoying it, and that's where you don't want to be. So I film whenever, like today, like when I feel like I really want to sit down in front of the camera, I'm in good form, I'm chatty, I want to chat to people, that's when I film, because you see it in people when you look at a video and you think that's forced. They do not want to be sitting down filming that video at all. You can see it and you can tell, and it's not a good vibe. That's it. So yeah, no schedule for me. I work scheduling meetings for somebody within my job, so like I work on a schedule 5 days of the week. My hobby will never be scheduled anymore. I just do too much scheduling as it is. Question 6 is kind of like a follow-on question from that. So how do you keep your YouTube channel organized? Do you plan videos ahead or just film what you feel like? So I film what I feel like, but I also I'm always watching YouTube videos, I'm always looking at things, and sometimes I just get random ideas and then I'm like, oh, I'll put that in the back of my head, or I have a notebook where I kind of track video ideas and things like that. So sometimes I do look at that and go, oh, okay, I'll do that on this time. It also depends on what I'm doing of a weekend. Obviously that's different these days because we're not doing anything, but it does depend on, you know, like today I don't have a whole pile of makeup on, but you do have to get dressed up a little bit to film a video because the camera picks up on stuff, so you can't just come on like you can come on with no makeup, but you would just feel like crap if you looked back and saw yourself and thought you could have presented yourself better. So I guess that's the other thing to kind of try and consider as well, as like a day where you want to put on makeup. A lot of days these days I do not want to put on makeup. I don't wear makeup because we're not going anywhere. What was the question? This is so me, I'm just rambling on. Oh yeah, do I plan videos ahead or just film when I feel like it? Yeah, I film when I feel like it. I film when it suits. I film when, you know, I feel like the house is going to be quiet. Oh my god, our house at the moment is like concrete and you can hear every tiny thing outside. Like if Mike walks up the hall, you can hear that. So I always kind of try and plan for when the house is going to be quiet as well. And yeah, so I plan in a weird way, but it's not organized by any means. And I'm trying not to like buy too much makeup just in order to do videos. So if it's a case where I have something brand new that I genuinely bought because I genuinely wanted it, then that's fine. But I don't anymore go out and buy makeup for videos, which I used to before. So yeah, I'm not sure if that answers that question, but anyway. Question 7. How do you feel about sponsored videos on YouTube? Have you or would you ever do one on your channel? Sponsored videos, yeah, look, like there's a huge place for sponsored videos, and obviously working for Google I can understand that probably more than most. Sponsored videos is how, you know, YouTube generates revenue, and that's perfectly fine. Personally, would I do a sponsored video? Yeah, I would totally do a sponsored video if it was a brand that I had been using for years, a brand that I really genuinely felt was worth my stamp of approval. Does that sound cocky? I don't know if that sounds cocky, but genuinely, if it was something that it was like, for instance, if perfect example, I don't have hair extensions. So if a hair extensions brand came to me and said, we want you to do a sponsored video on these hair extensions, I would not do that because I'd be like, I've never had hair extensions ever. I've nothing to compare your brand to, and it's not like my thing. I just don't have hair extensions. I don't do hair extensions, nothing like that. So that I wouldn't do that. But if, for example, like Catrice came along and were like, oh, we'd love to do a sponsored video with you, I go, oh my god, I absolutely love your brand. I've been using it for years. Yes, that would be super. Let's go, let's do it. I would totally do that. So do you know what I mean? If it fits in and if it's something that I'm already using and have a really good knowledge on, and if I'm happy with the ethics of a company, I would do it. And it'd be a novelty for me. It wouldn't be something that I would regularly do because there's always an element of not feeling like you can be honest if you are affiliated with a brand. So yeah, I would do it if it was the right brand. I do think that sponsored content has a place for sure, but I also think that creators need to be very responsible about who they're allowing themselves to be sponsored by. So I think they should be honest, and a lot of people just do it for the money. Like they'll just say, oh hey, this like teeth whitening thing, yeah sure, like they're sponsoring everyone these days, I'll do it too. And people see through that, like genuinely. I think people are seeing more and more through influencers and through content creators when it comes to sponsorship than they were before. The last question. What do you think is the biggest challenge of doing YouTube part-time? The biggest challenge for me doing YouTube part-time is the time. It's literally just the time. But it's also the interest, and I guess for me it's the editing, because I sit at a computer for 40+ hours a week, and when it comes to editing I don't really want to sit down in front of a computer for 2 or 3 hours to edit down a video. Like, you know, it's not something that is I don't know, it doesn't engage me. I can imagine if you're somebody that never sat at a computer, maybe you're people facing all week and you know, you just wanted to sit in front of a computer and just relax or kind of switch off, then it would be lovely. But for me, I'm just like, oh my god, the effort of sitting back down and having a screen in my face again. So that for me is definitely a challenge. But yeah, overall it's not challenging, it's fun. I love it. It's so nice. So everyone, that was random and weird, but I really hope you enjoyed it. It was something different that I just said I do. I don't know if that tells you anything about me. Please let me know if you like this. Give it a thumbs up and maybe pop a comment down below. Again, it's completely different from anything I've done before, but I like doing new things as well. And it's an easy one to just sit down and film too when I'm just chatting, you know. So I'm gonna go now. It's 4:30. Mike is going to be watching the Man U Liverpool match. So I'm probably going to watch some Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am obsessed with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I love it so much. So I think he's going to watch the match and I'm probably just going to grab my headphones, sit beside him and watch Real Housewives. And yeah, that's it. It's Sunday evening. We went for a big huge long walk, which was lovely, but I'm just getting bored so easily these days, as I'm sure everybody else is too. So I'm going to stop talking now. I hope everyone had a lovely day no matter what you've done, and I will see you in my next video. Please stay safe and look after one another and stay healthy too. Bye.